Hi folks, this is Dr. Cywes, and I got a big smile on my face today because as of January, we have just brought on board a woman by the name of Erin Smith, and she's a psychiatric nurse practitioner, and it's just somebody we've been looking for such a long time, but we had to find the right person. And Erin kind of fell into our practice probably about a year ago or so when one of her loved ones came in, had an obesity issue, and we helped her with carb addiction, and we helped her with our model. And Erin came in as a part of that person's support system and sat quietly, and I got to know her a little bit. And through the multiple visits that we had, as her loved one was just doing amazingly well, not just in terms of weight loss, but in terms of understanding and working through carb addiction. It was so cool to see Erin at first say, oh, I don't want to be here. And then slowly say, wow, look at what this practice, they're doing what I do. And I've talked about, and she was like getting so excited about what we did from the carb addiction side, because this loved one had gone through weight loss program after weight loss program, and just more debilitating and fatter and more psychologically disturbed that I'm a failure. And look at the success. And Erin and I started to develop a relationship in terms of the psychiatric and psychologic parts of how to manage patients. And Erin has a particular interest in pediatric and adolescent mental health. So she wasn't doing much in the obesity world, but she was clearly working with depression, with anxiety, and even with schizophrenia and some of the more serious psychiatric disorders. And she started out working in a school and then working in a hospital, and has trained herself and gone through training, became a nurse practitioner, and is now a board certified, qualified psychiatric nurse practitioner, and has bought completely into the carb addiction model, understanding that the other addictions that she treats is no different. Even though carb addiction may be more difficult for people to understand and treat, this is what she does. This is her wheelhouse. And along the way, she manages bipolar disorder, she manages anxiety, she manages some of the other neurologic abnormalities that our population often coexists with. And it's not a stigma, it's not a shame. We're here to help you to use a ketogenic diet, to help you to build your sense of self and manage and live and coexist with your psychiatric or psychologic issues, and learn to see them as who you are, not in a shameful way, not in a debilitating way, but hey, how do I coexist with this? What medications do I need? How do I do with this? And Erin is wonderful in terms of understanding appropriate medications to help you to manage your life. You know, a good friend of mine by the name of Chris Palmer, who's a psychiatrist at Harvard, has heavily delved into this space and has written a book now. And I love Chris's approach. I love the way Chris does this, and how he has been able to tackle serious psychiatric conditions that were previously very poorly managed, and managing them effectively with a ketogenic diet, and giving those people the respect that they can live in parallel with their disease and understand their disease as just being a part of them, not being all of them. And that's what Erin does. So I want to introduce Erin. She's going to introduce herself as part of this video, but she is now part of our practice, and she's an integral part of our carb addiction management, the multimodal management protocol. And you will get to see her, even if you don't think you have issues, she's going to talk about how to rebuild an effort-based emotion management system. And certainly, if you are on medications for depression, for anxiety, for bipolar disorder, for any psychiatric disorder, change over and let her begin to manage those along with the addiction model, along with managing the disease, because there's a polarity, there's a duality at least. There's the medications, and then there is the therapeutic, the therapist management. And psychiatrists will tend to medicate, psychologists will tend to test, therapists will tend to do therapy. What Erin does, because of her unique position as a nurse practitioner, psychiatric nurse practitioner, she can prescribe and deprescribe the appropriate medications while doing appropriate therapy and match those two in. And then if we bring Sheryl into the equation as the dietitian, that formula works so amazingly well. So whether you have obesity, diabetes, or psychiatric issues, or even if you have adolescent children who are looking for a progressive person to help, even if you don't have weight or carbohydrate addiction issues, she's there for you. So she has a psychiatric practice, primarily adolescents, but for adults as well. And you know how difficult it is to find somebody working in the space. She is your answer. And I always tell people, with me, with Sheryl, with Erin, set up one visit. Set up one visit and see if you have value for the visit. And if it is, continue to work with us. If it isn't, by all means, you've checked the box, find somebody better. But she's as good as it gets, in my opinion. I've learned so much from her. Just a little interesting thing is that she, very, very early on, I'm a carb addict. I'm a recovering carb addict. But she very early on pointed out to me one of the big issues that I have. And I kind of knew about it at the back of my head, but it wasn't the forefront. And that was something that she has helped me work through. So not only have I employed her as part of the practice, she's not an employee, she's part of the family, but also she has helped me personally in my carb addiction journey. And I'm thankful for that. I hated her when she said that to me. Yeah. Because that's what we do. She stung me. Here I am. I'm not the boss. I'm just a partner with her. And it took me a few days to recognize what she said was said because she cared about me, not because she was trying to sting me. And I'm working through it, and I'm managing that aspect of my carb addiction. And it was a wonderful, wonderful way for us to connect. So I have a personal connection with her. I have a professional connection with her. I also take care of her loved one. So it is a wonder. And am I biased? Of course I'm biased. But objectively, she would not be part of this practice if she wasn't damn good. Give her a shout. You can call locally or anywhere in the US at 561-627-4107 during weekday days, or you can WhatsApp her or leave a text or leave a voice message at 561-517-0642. If you live outside of the country, it's +1 561-517-0642. She's absolutely brilliant. She also has space on the calendar right now because she's been around. If you want to see me, it's going to be months before you can see me, but she's a way into the practice as well. I am the carb addiction doc. I am so thankful that Erin's on board. You'll hear from her in a few minutes, but welcome on board, Erin. And please leave comments down below. Leave comments. The feedback is very useful for both of us.
Hi, my name's Erin. I'm a board-certified psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner that specializes in addiction as well as pediatric and adolescent medication management. I just joined the practice in January of 2023 to help Dr. C out over here with the psychiatric and the mental health side. I not only do psychiatric med management, but I also do counseling, therapy, working with where you're at in the process to help improve your journey on carb addiction. To get a hold of me, you can look at the comments below. The phone number, the Instagram, and the WhatsApp will be provided.